We're the Sunderkids.
What a great soundtrack
Oh my
for
gosh.
everything. Star
Yes, indeed.
Wars is prime. Who is that? John Williams?
John Williams, yes,
John
indeed.
Williams.
The greatest composer of our age. Yes, indeed. He made
Quiet.
Home Alone. He made Star Wars. He
Ooh.
made Indiana Jones. He made.
Oh.
I think he did the first three Harry Potters. He did
Oh.
Superman.
Oh.
He's done like
Oh.
pretty
Those are
near
some heavy
everything.
hitters.
Oh my
I
gosh, yeah.
love a good soundtrack.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh. And I
Yeah.
was
And
looking up
Star Wars
because,
does such a good job.
they do, and, like, I was looking up music
Ugh.
for May the 4th, and, like, the Cantina song came
Do,
on,
do, 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 do,
and
do,
then
do,
there was, like, a
do, do,
remix of
do,
it, and it was hilarious. But there's some, like, you know?
So remember, I used to play that one for a piano recital. That was my recital songs.
Sí,
Yeah,
señor,
it's a
sí.
pretty fun one. It like jumps up and down.
Yeah. It's very tinkery.
Yeah. I had the piano sheet music songbook for the original Star Wars. Pretty cool. I also
That's
have some
pretty
of the
solid.
vinyls, which is pretty fun.
Fire.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sick.
They're that music just every single time transports you and brings you right into the scene, and it's just like, I don't know, it perfectly encapsulates everything. Like it pulls and it
Yes.
brings you in, and like when
Yes.
you actually analyze it, that was part of my IP music theory.
Really?
Yeah, I was analyzing John Williams' Star Wars stuff, like the different themes and motifs that then
Yeah.
get repeated, and then like you can see it
Ooh.
mirrored in different songs but slowed down in a higher thing with like
Yes.
as a flute versus as the
Yes.
horn section means different things and then pulls different
Yeah.
emotions.
Because, like, the dark side has different music than, like, the Force,
Yeah.
you know?
Uh-huh.
There's different
Darth
lighter
Vader's
and
theme.
darker and the Death
Uh-huh.
March, and you've got
Yes.
all these fights.
Bum 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 yeah. Oh my gosh. Some of my just so good. And like the original ones, but even the OG, the prequels. The prequels have some great music, also by John Williams, like the
Yeah, they have a little suspense parts.
you know, like the
You
whole
just
Duel
see
of
it, like, it's
Fates.
like, and then it opens.
Oh yeah.
Dude. Okay, so first of all,
So you just went through.
that's Matthew, and we're vibing with the Sunderkids.
Yeah,
You know how we
we're
do.
vibing real hard. We're vibing in the Star Wars universe in a
You
galaxy
know,
far,
we
far
got
away.
some BDE for Star Wars.
Yeah, it's May the 4th ish.
Yeah,
You know,
May the 14th.
it's been in the air.
But Matthew has always had a Star Wars obsession. I will
love
say,
Star Wars.
like
Yeah,
forever, we had the gold pack of VHSs. I remember
special
those.
edition VHSs, which
Special
were
edition VHSs.
yes.
And so we were pretty
So
into the old one, like Ewoks and Tauntauns. You know, like we were into it back in the day. Mom loved Carrie Fisher, like, and she loves Harrison Ford. Like,
oh my gosh.
oh, and the old
And so one of the things was we couldn't watch TV during the weekday, but
Yep.
sometimes I could convince the parents to put on a movie, and that movie would only be Star Wars.
Yeah.
So sometimes during the week, Star Wars could be on the television while you're doing other things, which was awesome. So it's just
That's
like
great.
those VHSs got reused and reused and reused and reused and reused and reused and reused. And then I also was able to find like the original VHS trilogy at a garage sale
Sick.
because they're different, Brittany. That's the thing with the original trilogy. There's the movies that got released as VHSs like in the 80s, but then they had a combined trilogy set, and then they had the special edition. So our gold one was a new edit. They had extra scenes. They put CGI stuff in it. It was after episode 1 was right around that time episode 1 released.
Okay.
And so it's different. It's slightly different. And then the ones that they released after on DVD are also different. And then the ones that are on Disney Plus right now are different from all of those. You know, like they you know, the Force Ghosts at the end of episode 6 when they're all looking at each other. And then you see Hayden Christensen, Star Wars episode 3 Force Ghost. You're like, wait, how about the huh?
I had that,
right? Yes. Originally, it was the old guy that they like demask his face, and it's all deformed.
Yeah.
I want to look upon you with my own eyes. You know, like
yes,
fantastic. And then it shows him as he would be as a Jedi. You know, if he hadn't gone through the Darth Vader transformation, makes sense.
Yes.
It's not like
not Hayden Christensen.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, I do have a question about that, though. Yes. Okay, Star Wars-y.
Star Wars.
How did they become 4, 5, and 6? Did they, or were they just made that way and then they were like, ooh, let's make prequel? Or is this pre-designed? How? Why?
Yes.
What?
So originally, George Lucas did have the idea to make it into a trilogy and then have other trilogies all mesh into like a big opera. And it was going to be a family arc, you know, of the Skywalkers.
Okay.
So they started out, they called it originally just Star Wars. It was Star Wars. And then pretty much by episode 5 or so, The Empire Strikes Back. So the sequel. So 1977 and then 81 is the sequel. They knew that they were going to probably have these be like a trilogy. So then they rename it, and then once I don't know, it's like in the 90s or something. Like it was kind of early on, way before that even like started production of the prequels that they knew. Yeah, pretty sure.
Interesting.
At least that's the lore. I don't know. Maybe. I'm pretty sure.
5 and 6 are just so
much better.
Much better.
But yeah, like it might have been just whenever they announced the prequels, they just like tacked on the 4, 5, 6. But like, yeah.
It's an interesting thing. Like I
swear,
think
with my original box set, I'll have to look. I think the original box set that I have is at the parents', you know, and I'll see if it has 4, 5, 6. Because I'm
written on it.
Pretty sure they originally like they made that decision early on.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's kind of nutty. So I mean, it's Star Wars, and then Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, the original trilogy.
Okay.
All 77, 81, and 83. Also, fun fact, we were just looking this up. We were talking about political trade in the French Empire, blah, blah, blah. And the guillotine, the last public guillotine execution in France was in September of 1977. So a couple months after Star Wars released, and a full 4 years after Tukwila Pool, where I work at, was made. Which is a fun little neat coincidence fact.
Anyway, is crazy. That's still recent history.
That's still recent history. Everything's recent history. In the grand scheme of
the universe, that's like, what, 50 years? No.
Yeah, that's like 50 years. That's not that much. But so
guillotine, man. Whoa.
Yeah, so originally, like Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, that was these are all brand new, fresh actors. Like Carrie Fisher was 18 at the time.
Very young,
very fresh actors, unknown, and like this is a ambitious project. They're flying to Tunisia. They're doing shoots here. They have to create all of that stuff, and it's just wild the vision and the planning to create all the armor for all the stormtroopers. all the different outfits, all the different things. Like
languages.
it is, yeah, yeah. And to think, okay, George Lucas had only done like 2 other big projects up until that point in 19 in the 70s.
Which was like what?
Is like
Willow?
a Willow was after.
I thought
Willow was in
Willow
the
was his
80s.
first.
No, it was like THX, or maybe it was before. It
I'm
might
gonna
have.
Google this.
Go
Keep
ahead while I'm
talking.
talking. So THX 1138 was one of his like first ever projects. It's like this trippy mind altered thing. It was right after he got out of college, film school, and then American, not American Pie,
Graffiti.
American Graffiti. Thank you. And that was also Harrison Ford, his first start ever into acting, which was pretty fun. But those movies, to go from that with a certain budget to then Star Wars as that type of vision with the execution is just so nuts to introduce that to the world, you know, and to think of what it spawned, you know.
Dude, so much, and it's continuing and
And
continuing and
continuing, it's now
continuing.
one of the biggest franchises in the entire world. And it's just like there's such a depth of storytelling that you can do. And I mean, even after the 80s, there was novels and comic books and all sorts of things going up until up until today. There's still stuff. So I remember growing up,
Dude,
we
you're
had the
so
Han
right.
Solo trilogy. What?
Yeah. Willow was in 1988.
85.
And
88.
then so
Yeah.
87 was that's a Star Wars video game, I guess. All this other there's like TV movie, Ewoks, the Battle of
There's the
Endor.
holiday special that nobody talks about. Have you ever seen the holiday special, Brittany?
I don't know if I have.
I will get you a copy. It is crazy. So they had a holiday special that it was a
In
TV
1978,
in
TV
19.
movie,
So this is
2.2
so
stars.
yeah, it is one of the worst pieces of media like ever produced.
No way.
They go visit Chewbacca's family and like it's super weird and they just grunt and then they don't have any like subtitles and stuff and then there's a
What?
whole section where it's just a music video. And like they have another section where he's like getting a haircut while he's like watching this like Sandry lady doing the thing. They have Princess Leia singing lyrics to the Star Wars theme song. Like it's like a normal thing. Like, oh my goodness.
Oh
So it's
my
like that
goodness.
happened right after the movie because they were like trying to
Capitalize off it all.
capitalize on it.
Yeah.
But like and even in Weird Al's long time ago, that music video
Yeah.
when he's like, in the back alley paying money, it's the holiday special is the VHS that he has as the bootleg
No
copy.
way.
Yeah,
Funny.
yeah. So nowadays you can find it freely online. I mean, you can pirate it, but it's George Lucas's bane. He is quoted by saying like, "He wish he had a hammer to just smash every single copy he could find."
Wow.
You know.
Wow, that bad. Okay.
So it's like,
I'll have to watch it.
but in between, like that was in between, just masters of filmmaking.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And even episode, I like the prequels.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
If they didn't rely on CGI, they
Oh,
would
the
have been
CGI is the
so much
worst.
better. Like
Yeah.
it is the realness of the costumes and like the set pieces and like the grittiness.
Agreed.
Like I always thought, oh my gosh, how does these movies seem so much dirtier and real than the original trilogy? You know, one, it has to do with, oh yeah, it was supposed to be the height of the Republic. Like it's all fancy and all clean until the Empire and da, da, da. But also they just use CGI.
Yeah.
And it would have looked way cooler.
Yeah, they just did, a lot of effortless.
But they still had a puppet Yoda in the original cut of Star Wars Episode 1.
Okay.
When you watched it, Brittany, was it Star Wars Episode 3 Yoda face?
No.
Or was it the puppet?
It was the puppet.
It's kind of a weird looking Yoda
Yeah,
puppet.
and I thought, "Ooh, this is in the
Huh.
recent ones?"
For a 900-year-old species, having a 20-year difference shouldn't be that different. And they probably had the original puppets from the movies.
Probably. Like, it's
Why just
very
use the
odd.
original fucking puppet?
Yeah.
Why did you have to have a new puppet?
I don't
Like,
know.
it was Yoda. Yoda's the
It
same
was
age.
Yoda.
It's 9, so he's 890 in this one. And he's 910 in this one.
And also,
Like, it's the same pup. Like,
okay. I also
and then he does
noticed
backflips and shit. Like, and then he like goes from doing backflips and Yoda fucking battles and lightsaber battles into like, oh no, I'm gonna die in 20 years by living on a planet full of the Force. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, and like dies at the swamp,
But I think he could control that. I think that was
Yeah, he wanted to go. He was ready to go. But okay, for how little Yoda is in this entire series.
Oh, it's just the last movie for just like 20 minutes.
We love Yoda. I feel like Yoda was what everyone wanted.
Episode 5
Jedi, whatever. But there is not a lot of Yoda. There's also,
it's just
I was
the
waiting.
Dagobah training scene. Then he leaves, and then in episode 6 he comes back, and then within that like 5-minute scene he dies.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
And you just see him like in the circle making decisions, like whatever. But
doesn't it seem like he was such a bigger deal?
A big deal, like Yoda. It was
even
so
before.
Also, you know what else?
Episode 1, he's just chilling.
Is Ewoks, and you know how long Ewoks are in the movies?
Just like a little bit at the end,
like the littlest bit. But I feel like that was always my favorite. The Ewoks were like my shit.
Yeah.
And they like I was waiting, thinking like I'm gonna get more Ewok time, and you just don't. And it's watching them nowadays. Like even I feel like I've watched them in past, but like maybe never paid full attention.
Yeah,
but
and then
like first of all, I didn't even watch episode 3. Like I didn't even get there. I went 1, and I thought, oh God, and then I went 2, and then I thought, fuck this, I'm going to the originals. And then I went 4, 5, 6, like 2 in a night, just like,
because like,
and then I went Rogue One,
so
and I was
fast, like, oh man, it just feels so natural. The whole flow of it. It's just like all 3 combined into the thing.
Intriguing. Yes, Matthew.
Oh my gosh.
And like, I love me a pod racer. Obviously, like we've got the CD-ROM to prove it. Anakin pod racer was our shit. But like the whole thing is just like
oh yeah. Trade Federation. Oh yes, we're talking trade politics and galactic empire and vote of no confidence. Okay.
Yes, my slaves. Okay. And then now we're like, let's go. Then you get Jabba the Hutt in there, and you're like, shit's about to go down, And you've got all these. Yes, there's so much more effort in the costumes, in the languages, in just the appearance and
not the languages. They did such a better job in languages and stuff. So in like episode 6, when Leia goes to confront Jabba as a bounty hunter, you'll notice that there's subtitles, and then she's speaking some alien language. She basically says yato, 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 like 5 different times, and it says like, she's speaking a fucking paragraph of different stuff, and she's saying the same shit. So the original, not the best at the languages, but the way they go about R2D2, the droid sounds, the Jawas, other stuff. But they do a lot of better job in the prequels and then the sequels.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And
they
then
do a lot better
the
job
originals had humans in R2D2 and C3PO, correct?
Yeah, C3PO always had a human. Yeah.
And I think R2D2 as well.
Yeah, little guy.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. And to think of the terrain they were on, probably in like summertime.
Oh yeah,
it is Tunisia. Crazy. Just all of this.
Yeah.
all that goes
Yeah.
into Star Wars. And then,
And
yes, Rogue One, fire. Like, there are
so
some of
thank
the
you.
new ones, like, we're going in, I think, separating from 1, 2, 3, like 4, 5, 6 lives on forever, you know? And then now we're in the new age of Star Wars and things, I mean, little CGI in there, right?
Just notice though, the conversation about how good and how bad and how Star Wars doesn't even include the sequels. We haven't even talked about 7, 8, 9.
Which ones are 7, 8, 9?
Rise of Skywalker, the Rey, Palpatine, the Kylo Ren,
Oh, yeah.
Han. Yeah,
Those were pretty good.
no.
Yeah, I mean, they were mid, but they were
they're
watchable.
gonna be nostalgic for other, but like as a whole, a cohesive thing. If you watch all three of them back to back,
Oh,
you're gonna get a
interesting.
brain aneurysm. Like, good
Okay.
luck.
Heard.
I don't think you got there yet.
Heard.
They're not the best. They're
Okay.
worse than the prequels. Like
Oh, gosh.
I love me the prequels, but sometimes it can get a little, oh gosh. But like,
Yeah.
you could just plow through the OG. But the sequels have a lot of different problems, and like, I really haven't revisited them
Yeah.
much after seeing them in theaters because they were so underwhelming and it just didn't really make sense as a whole.
Also,
But
which movies did we see in theaters released? Like, didn't we see episode 3 in theaters?
we saw it in theaters, not on release date. We were in Washington.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was
Anyways.
after 5th grade, 2005.
And that was the only one we
In
saw,
May.
like, in
Yeah.
because did you was there a Darth Maul time? Like, we were pretty obsessed with Darth Maul. We had a double
Oh yeah,
lightsaber.
I love me episode 1. Episode 2 was, good. But like, yeah. The best part about it was just like the Geonosis and the Clone Wars and the clone helmets and everything,
Yeah.
But let's talk about Rogue One.
Okay.
So you watched it, you loved it. It
Yeah.
is, I think, one of the best standalone and new age Star Wars movies
I concur.
ever. Like, it is so good. The storytelling, the suspense, and like,
Everything.
no Jedis, hardly any Force.
Ooh, truth.
So Brittany, what you need to watch next is Andor.
That's
Andor,
a series, correct?
That's a series. There's 2 seasons. They just finished last night the 2nd season.
Okay.
And it, like, the last 5 episodes is the first TV show ever to get over 9.5 rating on IMDb. Last 5 episodes. First one to ever, like, first series ever to have 5 consecutive 9.5 or above.
That's
ratings.
quite impressive.
Quite impressive.
That's
indeed.
Disney Plus, yeah.
This show is a masterpiece.
Okay.
It's a slow burn, but it's like the political intrigue, the character development. Each person has like individual characters. They build them up.
And
morally
who are the
questionable
characters? What is this
decisions.
about?
So Rogue One, Cassian Andor, the guy that's like the rebel guy that's kind of like leading it.
Yes.
There's a girl and then there's the guy.
Yes.
That guy. It's his basically origin story. It's the preamble to Rogue One, which is the preamble to episode 4, and that is so like build. But this is like a spy thriller.
Ooh,
like it's so good. It is like all the critics are saying it's good. Everybody I've talked to. Not a lot of people have watched it. It doesn't have like the best viewership numbers, but oh my gosh, Brittany. I am so excited for you to watch this show.
Okay.
So I just finished the season 2 finale. And like they complete all the story arcs. Like they have these big moments. Like they're so intense and like there's like all this release. No Jedi, no Sith, no Force. Just real, like, what are the actual systems of the Empire? How do rebellions actually get born without the magic? Real people. People die to move the goalpost an inch.
Yes.
How does that look like? Oh my gosh. They do such a good job at tackling it. Like, Brittany, I have not seen a TV show, Star Wars or not, this good in a while.
Okay, damn.
Like, this is like the best for
wow, I need to watch
spy
it.
thriller stuff.
How did you think of The Mandalorian?
There's good points and bad points. What I do liked about Mandalorian is the set pieces and the way that they used to film it. So instead of green screen CGI, they had like the LED or the OLED screen, like an entire room with a 360 scene. So then you're able to change the foreground or the background easily, and then the foreground, whatever you have as your like props and set pieces. So you rock for the actual scene is in a pretty big area. So you're able to get a cooler, more authentic. You're able to utilize that CGI.
Okay.
Whereas it doesn't look like episode 2, 2002 CGI crap. So I really enjoyed the visuals of Mandalorian. Some of the stories were okay. I like the episodic, I can get into it.
What about Obi-Wan?
The whole, no.
No.
I didn't like it.
What was the next one? Next!
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
I thought, high hopes.
Yeah. That was the chick, right? With the long. Yeah.
Damn. I haven't watched the Skeleton Crew. That was the other live action one. What other live action? I don't think the Acolyte. Nobody watched that. Those that did hated it.
And then now we're on to like the good with Andor.
Yes.
Okay.
And then hardly anybody's watching it because all the other ones sucked so much.
Yeah. Now the word's just gotta spread.
Yeah. Go watch the masterpiece.
Andor.
And luckily, they're not going to do a season 3 or anything. They
capped it.
Push it up right until the moment Rogue One starts. So like right now, I'm rewatching Rogue One after.
Right there.
Oh, respect! You tell a story, you develop your characters, and you walk the fuck away.
Agreed.
Oh my! Don't linger. Freaking lingers.
Stage 5 clingers.
Oh my gosh! When you have an ending in mind at a set endpoint, you're able to work within that boundary in order to achieve that goal.
Boundaries.
Like everything about this show, like screams they took their time, they knew what they were doing, and you had an entire cast of people who were so invested. Like the acting is so good. Like, oh my gosh. So if you take anything on this, Andor, Rogue One is going to be on the next pedestal after the OG. You gotta watch it.
Yeah, we'll see what's next.
You gotta watch it.
I do think it's just like forever. We've gotten.
It's an infinite well.
Yes, there's so much you could do. I would love a Jar Jar movie. I know.
There's a whole Darth Jar Jar conspiracy that Jar Jar was the original Sith Lord.
Damn.
That was going to be like the big bad, and he was just stupid for show.
LOL.
He's the one that got Palpatine up on the thing to run. Who's to say,
dude? But when he like gets his tongue stuck in the oh my god, there's so many Jar Jar moments you just want to smack him, but you're like, why do I like this guy?
Misa, oh my gosh. Misa don't like this. Oh.
Why are you so good at it?
Because I watched it so good now. You don't like this. Maybe we stop being friends. You saw take a Goomba.
Oh, that type of stuff is so cool to me.
So I think the OG, just all the Star Wars have been chopped up and memeified so much. Like
hardcore.
You could use any scene as a meme and it just
you
works.
could.
But yeah,
shit is so good. Also,
so
I would like to say, never is there a quote that is Luke, comma, I am your father. Not at all.
No.
It is no. I am your father.
No. I am your father. Yeah.
You know, that's like it's so funny like how much we just make it our own. Like he said that. And it's not true.
It's not true.
So, if anyone wants to know that.
But yeah, if you catch us later, we'll be in a galaxy far, far away. Dun 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 dun. Ciao, ciao for now. Ba-bum.